One of my biggest complaints with Forza was actually the fact that I couldn't really go anywhere. They pushed the idea that we could go absolutely anywhere we please. Well, Forza, I've got to tell you so that we couldn't go anywhere we wanted. But in this game, it seems a little bit different. After playing the demo and also playing, well, seeing this footage right here, because I didn't actually get to play it, but this footage, again, straight up paper, thank you, legend. This is actual gameplay of the full game. So it's a little bit more open than the demo. I could have very easily done this on the demo, but I thought, you know what, I really need to show you it here, because this, my friends, has a bit more to it, and a bit more varied areas, and obviously, it's not a demo, it's the full thing, so you get a better idea. But one of my biggest complaints, as I say, with Forza is the fact that the maps were always said to be open. It's open, you can go anywhere, do anything. Which was not true in the slightest. You could not go anywhere, you could not do anything, you were limited massively. In this game, you can clearly see there aren't really any barriers. I'm pretty sure people that have played the demo will see there are no barriers. And if there is a solid wall or a barrier, it's basically like where you couldn't go anywhere because it's like a wall. You have to go around the wall usually. You can still go around the wall. You can actually, like, they haven't got an animation, but they've actually got a thing now where if you go too deep into the water, it splashes out. That wasn't in previous Forza games. That should in itself tell you that this game is much more open. You can just go into the water and drown your car. So, very clearly much more open. But honestly, I also love the fact that the whole area is just very, very vast and different as well. Example, here we're on the beach. We're on a beach in a racing game. I love it. It definitely reminds me of World Racing 2. One of my favourite games, but it was also pretty shit at the same time. One of my favourite games because of the fact that you can just go off the track and just drive anywhere. So that's what I pretty much did. And that's what I get to do in this game. That's probably why it reminds me a lot of it. This game reminds me of a lot of games combined. But anyway, as I was saying, literally, I can't think of any walls there are on this game. If there are walls, you can go round them and there's ways to get in them. Like, there's just no issue of it. And say, for example, normally, like in Forza Horizon 2, say it was like a big jump you did, a big jump that you weren't supposed to do. It wasn't a jump, necessarily. It was just pretty much like a big hill. You did the jump. Eventually, when there was like a big pile of rocks there, and you could probably drive onto the top of that, you would smash into that pile of rocks, or you'd smash above it and just crash. You would crash, and then you wouldn't be able to get past that point. In this game, that's not an issue. And again, I want to talk about how freaking amazing this is, and the fact that how varied it is. So in this map, you've obviously got the city area, and then you've obviously got the desert. The desert is somewhere that I haven't seen, or, well, I've not looked into, because number one, I have not seen footage of it, my own footage. Number two, I don't want to see other people's footage of it. I want to see my own experience of the sand dune area, because I absolutely love sand dunes. It's probably my most visited area on the crew, with most cars that probably weren't supposed to even go there. They go about 10 miles an hour, which is one complaint I do have with Forza, by the way. I'm keeping that in the fact that when you go off-road in a high-performance car meant for the road, I should not be flying down the sand on the beach in a Lamborghini at 200 miles an hour. Give or take it. Yes, it's a game, but at the same time, I would prefer to have to set up my car to do that. Put on the rally suspension, put on the rally tyres, then let me go about 200 miles an hour. I'll be okay with that. But before that, nah, don't let me do it. Don't let me do it. But again, this is another area I want to show you guys. The rainforest area is a rainforest. You can see here, that's what I'm talking about. He would have been able to make it up there. He pretty much did, but he didn't have enough speed because this thing's slow. It needs upgrading. That's what it needs. But areas like that, you can just jump them. You can just literally jump areas like that. And honestly, I didn't expect them to do this. I did not expect them to actually have the ability to literally have the map so open. There's a few areas in the map that I've seen that I'm quite skeptical on. There's like a massive rocky mountain in the distance. I don't think you'll actually be able to drive up. But if you actually can drive up that, I'm going to be very, very happy, because obviously if you can get up there, you can drive off there. And that's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. If you can drive up something, you can drive off it. And that's my mindset. So that's the cool thing. Like, as an example again, the crew, because everybody knows the crew is massively open. There isn't really any areas you can't go other than like some like small areas where there's just buildings and you can't really drive through. It's not much point. You can go around anyway. There's very little areas you can't go in the crew. And Forza Horizon 2 was the complete opposite. There were many areas you couldn't go. So having this more openness definitely as to the map size. Definitely as to the map size. The map is not massively bigger. Honestly, in all honesty, the map is not that much bigger than Forza Horizon 2. It looks it because it's more spread out, but you have to consider the fact that there aren't many roads. It's the same thing with these two rivals. It's a big game, but it's like one road that goes around. That's pretty much all it was. It's a big map, but it's not. Whereas Forza now, Forza Horizon 2, it was the same big map, but a lot of areas you can't actually go. Horizon 3, I'm now hoping that has been abolished because of the fact that from what I've seen, this whole freaking area is absolutely drivable. I threw in this race here because obviously I wanted to show you guys that there are races included in this area, and it does massively improve the map size because of the fact that there's just so much more you can drive on, and there's so many more places and remember, you can actually customize these races now and customize bucket lists and that kind of thing, so there's going to be a lot of opportunities to go off-road. I think a lot of the time in this game will be spent off-road, more so than on-road, honestly. And that kind of makes me go, a little bit. But at the same time, you can actually choose if you want to. If you really want to stick to roads, you can do that. If you want to stick to off-road, you can do that. So at the same time, I can't really complain about that. But it does seem like they did do a bit more off-road than they did on-road. And that's the problem with the map size I have, in the fact that it's more off-road than on-road. Obviously, it makes sense that there'd be more off-road, but there's a lot more off-road. In the fact that a lot of the roads are just one road that goes that direction, and then there's a little town that's probably like three roads split, and then you carry on back to just the one road that goes around the outside. You know, there should be multiple roads that head to the same direction, or multiple roads that somehow merge and that kind of thing. There should be a bit more tarmac, but I'm okay with the fact that this map is just bigger in general. Just a few more roads, please. It feels a bit like Need for Speed Rivals, except I can go off-road. And this is cool. See? This jump right here. In the fact that it's open, you can drive off cliffs. There's like, usually, again, in Forza Horizon 2, if there was like a drop down somewhere, there'd be like a road here, and the barrier would be like here, and you can go down here, and you couldn't drive off there. Now you can! See, they've realized that people like to throw their cars off of things. And one thing I've noticed in result to that, they've actually changed the physics a little bit. The physics, when you drop a car from like a cliff or something, in Horizon 2, or you did a jump, it would bounce and bounce and roll and bounce and bounce and roll, and then stop, because it reset the game, you know, respawned you down the road. It doesn't do that on this. Doesn't do that on this. You have a lot more, a lot less bounce, a lot less suspension throwing you around everywhere, but that's pretty much it for this gameplay. Horizon 3 is much more open. Much more open than Horizon 2. And if that's what you wanted, well, my friends, you have received. So don't worry about it. You have received. Anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, found it useful, helpful, whatever. Let me know down in the comments if you got any questions about the actual gameplay. If you want to see anything specifically, say when the game comes out, or I've got footage of it, I'll show you guys. Now, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.